it this way. I know you light-skinned geezers like all the limelight, but unfortunately, you know what you just said? He goes, "Oh, are you going to be in it as well?" Bro, what is wrong with you, red-skinned geezers?
Everyone has been away from the cameras.
Well, I'm not everyone.
So I apologise.
I'm telling you, there's something wrong with you, light-skinned geezers. I'm telling you, you can't
All right.
always be centre of attention. I know you were told you were handsome when you were growing up. You're not going to get it from me.
I apologise.
That's all right. I'm only joking. Listen, choose a colour.
I'll go black.
You go black.
Thank you.
Delicious Orie, welcome back. It's been a minute since we spoke, and now look at you. No WWE, no amateur boxing, but professional boxer with, come on, the home of heavyweights,
Yeah.
Queensberry.
I don't think there's a better way for me to start my professional career, actually, on my debut. I've been watching some of these guys as an amateur, in their press conference. It felt really weird being in that press conference.
Did it?
It was like, I used to watch Frank Warren and Orie and George Joyce and Dylan White do their thing, and I was like, now I'm actually in it. It feels strange.
It suits you. You didn't look out of place. You took it quite naturally. You were lovely and composed on the mic. But I guess when you've got that GB pedigree, you're media trained anyway. You're used to the cameras. It's not like it's the very first time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the levels that I went up to, Commonwealths, European Games, Olympics, there was that behind the scenes media stuff, which I really enjoyed, and over time I got to build that good experience. So I would always advise anyone who's young watching, make sure you get the amateur experience behind you. It's not just the boxing, but it's making sure that you can express how you feel and the message you want to get across.
And that is quite interesting because sometimes I think, and this is just me watching it from a fan's point of view, that's always my point of view, that sometimes the boxers that do the best didn't necessarily have that amateur background. It almost seems like professional boxing and amateur boxing, they're two different sports, almost. And you're going to find out, I guess.
I will find out, and I think it is a different, but it's not necessarily what you do in the ring that's going to differentiate me from other professional boxers. It's the mindset. I worked harder than most professional boxers.
Elaborate on that. When you say you work harder.
In amateur boxing, we train 3 times a day. The highest level,
right.
Team GB, we train 3 times a day. We're very competitive. There's somebody out for your neck. There's only one. GB boxing can only send one person to any competition at that weight category. You have to be the best, and you've got to be the best throughout the year. You can't slack. So the mindset that you build over the years of being on GB, you can't replicate that being even a professional boxer. Of course, when you get to the peaks of being a professional, maybe even a British title or the Europeans, yes, it's tough. There's pressure, but at the start, it's not as much pressure as the amateurs were at that top level.
No, and it's interesting to hear that, and that's why I like speaking to different people, because you all have different opinions based on experiences.
Yeah.
And obviously, except for like Fraser Clark, GB as well, obviously Ben Whittaker at light heavyweight, GB, Conor Tudsbury as well recently turned over at GB. But then you look at like some of the really like the exciting fighters, the rugged fighters, the fighters that aren't necessarily concentrating on that compact, beautiful boxing. Let's score some points in his heavyweights. And I've said this 1,000 times. We love to see knockouts.
Yeah, I mean that's why this show is so big.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a few knockouts on this show. You are right. I think professional boxing, and I'm starting to feel it myself now in sparring.
Okay.
It's different.
Is it?
Yeah, it's different. The rounds are longer, of course, like obviously.
Granted.
It's tougher in terms of you getting a clinch. That elbow is going to your neck. Okay. It's not as clean. It's not as clean. No, it's not at all. The way I see it as well, it's I've settled in now, my place up in Sheffield and etc. And I'm noticing my money sort of leaving my account. Yeah, I'm thinking.
Okay.
I'm thinking I've got to fight. I've got to fight
now
to pay my rent.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You're a big boy now.
I've got to hurt someone to pay my rent. So it's different.
Okay.
I'm looking at my opponent, thinking this time. In the amateurs, I'm looking at our opponent. This is a country versus country. Yes, we're gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you, but I'm gonna learn. If I lose, it's a step by step. Yeah, The Olympics is the main one. That's what we're working for. In a pros, whoever it is, it could be anyone, but he's gonna take food from my mouth. Like if I don't beat him, I'm not getting paid.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Oh,
And you start to depreciate, and no one wants to depreciate in value.
No. So you think, okay, so I'm gonna punch him back now, and I'm sinking them a little bit more. I'm imagining the rib cage. I'm imagining the uppercut, putting the head back. It sounds a little bit sinister.
No, it doesn't.
I'm a nice guy, I promise.
Nah, we like sinister.
But I understand. I get this. It makes sense. I get it, and I know that I can adjust and I can adapt. It's going to take some time, but I've got a fantastic team, amazing coach, amazing promotion. I know they're going to make me the next superstar. I just know it.
Can I ask why you didn't stay with Rob McCracken from the GB? Because I know he does. He trains Lauren Price. He's obviously got Galalia Phi. So obviously you're up there. So what made you make the decision to then go to Steel City, still Sheffield,
Yeah.
Grant Smith,
Yeah.
lovely guy, brilliant trainer, loads of time for him,
Yeah.
and his fighters. Why?
GB was great. It was great for me. It developed me into this real, experienced, technically sound boxer.
Technically sound.
For me, and Rob was the captain of that ship, and he got me to such a top level. For me, and I was talking about the pro thing. I just needed to be surrounded by professionals.
Okay.
I need to be surrounded by the likes
So
of
it's your
Dalton,
mindset then.
Mick. It's different, you know. Instead of training 3 times a day, where I'm still giving 100%, but I know I've got
It's like routine, isn't
it's
it?
a routine. Whereas as a professional,
Oh,
you can spend 2 or 3 hours in a boxing gym learning how to left hook, and that will be the whole day. That's your whole training day.
I get it.
It's I
get it.
I'm now not training to be an athlete. I'm already an athlete. I need to train. I need to know how to hurt people. It's just different. So that's the reason I decided. And there's one person to do it was Grant Smith.
You know what? It's so refreshing though, Delicious, to hear you say, I'm already an athlete. Now I know I've got to train to hurt people. The fact that you're still so studious, the fact that I hate to use this word because it sounds so cliche, but you're humble enough to know, listen, I might have done this as an amateur, but I know now this is a different game and I have to change my mindset, and
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board because now it's food on my table.
Yes.
Now I don't want my value to depreciate. Now I've got to be that nasty guy.
And I needed to change my environment to do that.
Okay.
I needed to change my environment. So as much as Team GB and the EIS offered me so much opportunities, I needed to change my environment. I needed to feel like it was me that was, spending this money and doing those things.
Yeah.
Making sure that I had to really work for it. And it's not just in the ring, it's how I feel and my life outside of outside of the ring to then perform inside of the ring. Another reason it's away from home. I don't want to be at home.
comforts.
I'm very much my training camps are quite miserable. I'm quite a miserable guy, so so what I mean by that is I put myself in miserable situations all the time in order to get myself to where I am. So I always find discomfort. Always. I could have trained at home, but no. Why would I when I could feel worse training somewhere else? And it's just my mindset. I look for the worst, the nastiest.
No, I hear it. Because
thing.
anything else after that's a bonus.
Yes.
I think similar, so I get that.
Okay, yeah.
I get that. I always expect the unexpected because if anything good happens, I always see,
that's a bonus. I mean, it's a double-edged sword because the other side is you're not really satisfied. You're not really like, I'm an Olympian, but
you'll have drive though.
Yeah.
And drive is dangerous because you'll absolutely do anything to be the best of you.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's not about anybody else.
Yeah.
You'll be driven to literally work the hardest. You'll be the hardest worker in the room.
Yes.
And that's what that does.
Yes.
That's the positive side of it.
Yeah. I agree. It's either way, it's going to be a fun next few years for sure.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm happy to see that, you're happy with the choices that you made, who you've signed with. I just wish you all the best on the journey. I want to see that smile. I want to see that energy carrying on years to come. I hope you've got that same mindset, that growth mindset, that driven mindset. and no doubt you become a world champion along your travels in this beautiful sport.
I really appreciate it. I know I really want to earn my stripes. That's why I'm not like, I don't really want to say I'll knock this person out or no. I started boxing
Learning
at
mentality.
18 with no experience, and I couldn't throw a jab for 3 months. I couldn't skip for 3 months. Like I know that I need to improve. I know I will. That's why I just need to prove myself. That's all I want to get in the ring and prove myself. And over the years, people will know. I don't really like talking about what I'm going to do, and I just want to
do it.
I just want to do it and prove myself to people.
I know you're quite community-led as well, so could you just let the guys in Sheffield, if there's any Sheffield, like parents, mums and dads, fans of the sport, watching this, we do know that we're suffering a bit of a epidemic with knife crime, with violent crime, and the children are getting younger. So any amateur gyms or, you know, boxing clubs that you know in the area, could you let our viewers know where they are so we can get some of these kids and potentially start to get boxing back into schools?
There's that as well. If you first of all, if you're based in Sheffield, there's the gym that we go to, the eye trainer, you know, and the likes of Dalton Smith, absolutely phenomenal athlete and professional boxers, train there. You can train there yourself as an amateur. We've got amateur club. And what a way to be able to spend your evening, being able to, you know, better yourself as a human being, as a fighter. You gain your confidence. It's just, you know what it is? When I went out to, I do a bit of training with, I do a bit of local training with my boxing gym. And I didn't come to boxing from that background. You know, I wasn't a 8-year-old who had troubles in school.
Okay.
I wasn't that guy. I was a teacher's pet in school.
Really?
I went to. I wasn't.
First.
I wasn't. I wasn't. I would never get a detention. Like, there's no way I'll get attention in school.
Oh, we're gonna have to twist you up. We're gonna have to make you into a nasty man.
What I'm trying to say is, when I was at the gyms, so I didn't understand boxing in that aspect. I didn't get it. When I was at the gyms, I thought to myself, it's crazy how much boxing helps the younger generation. I've been in schools and I remember I got into schools and the school will give me the worst class. You know, it's like, the worst behaved class. This is the worst behaved class.
They're the best kids.
I went in there, not one of them gave me any problems. They were the most engaged.
Correct.
They were so engaged in what I was telling them.
Yep.
And I know that I'm an exterior person who's not been there, you know.
But they were interested though.
It's like amongst each other, they were throwing shots. They were technically getting, and then you know, I found a few of them. They was told that they were having a few scraps and fights. You get them into boxing, they've got that outlet. They're punching a pad instead of punching someone's face. Yeah. It works. It really does work. It's counterintuitive because a lot of people think you get into boxing and make them more aggressive.
Nah, it doesn't. It's discipline.
I know so many boxers, everyone, who will never get into a confrontation because they know that they have the discipline and they are superior in terms of in skill, in terms of fight. Because if they get involved, someone will get hurt, or they will know how it feels to get hurt because they've been hurt in the ring.
Love it.
There's so many benefits to boxing, but that's probably a story for another day.
Oh no, listen, I could talk all day anyway. But I know you've got media commitments, but I appreciate that. Appreciate you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And all the best on your professional career. Delicious Orie, everybody. Queensberry's latest heavyweight. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Dillian.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.